Spring is here, and the shopping list is long. Time to make a Lowe's run. Buy 3 bags, get 3 free of Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil. Plus, right now, members can earn 4 times the points on an eligible purchase. Start spring off strong with these deals and more. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/25 while supplies last. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. Point boosters subject to exclusions and more terms apply. One-time only offer.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Now let's talk about this one about the space thing, all right? I find myself sometimes, I'm so cliche, it's not even funny. You ever notice that? You ever find yourself saying like, well, of course, do you really mean that? No, but supporters always argue of not the space travel, but the benefits. They talk about how the space travel program has quietly reshaped modern life. And if you just tuned in, NASA announced, you know what, we're going to scrap this other stuff, and we're going to put all of our 20, 100, whatever billion dollars into having a lunar space, a space. Would you go to the moon? No. Remember those ditzes who went in that Bezos's plane? It wasn't even a space. They went up, they came down. It was nothing. Remember the front door? Remember that? It was like cardboard. What is this? And they were kissing the ground, and it was Lauren, whatever her name is, Lauren Sanchez and Gail King. What was that? I want to know more about the radiation. But what they always say is, now listen, the space program is important because, after all, space research led us to GPS navigation. Okay. Could we have done that without the space? No. Oh, I see. Satellite communications. Well, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? Because you have to put it in space. That would be good. Weather forecasting. Good luck with that one. Medical imaging and materials. Now, these aren't luxuries. They are, in fact, embedded in our daily life. And that's what people would say. Second, of course, there's innovation pressure. You see, the push to reach space, as they say, space, many believe, forced rapid breakthroughs in engineering and computing and materials science. Entire industries grew out of that urgency. The national security and global positioning, for example. But before we get to that, look at Elon Musk. Remember in the old days, they would fly up, they would do their thing, the shell or whatever it was would land and fall into the ocean. And they'd go find it. And then they'd knock on the door and pull the poor guy out and throw him in some kind of contamination thing. And they didn't shave and that sort of thing. All right, great. And then later on, the space shuttle was good. It landed. That's nice. And then Elon says, I got an idea. Why don't we just back the whole... The first time I saw him do this, I said, this isn't real, isn't it? No. He did it far better. Why don't we let Elon run the space program? Why is NASA doing it? Name one thing the government does better than private industry. Now, national security and global positioning, by the way, this is great. Which is the third benefit. Better intel, stronger communications, strategic advantage. And the fourth part about this is inspiration and human ambition. Ah, yes. The moon landing wasn't just a stunt. It redefined what was possible and inspired generations into science and engineering. Were you around for that one, Blaze? Were you around for that? The landing on the moon? No, that was before your time, right? That was 1969. See, this is the part that's fascinating. Because I remember that night, and it was something. It was in July, and there we were. We had a color TV set. Didn't matter because we saw this grainy, horrible, absolutely just incredibly terrible, grainy thing. And we were saying, wow, we're watching this. By the way, did you see the look of disgust on Blaze's face? Where it said, "Well, you remember looking at me like, no. Okay, fair enough. How old do you think I am? I don't know. I was 11. It was terrific at the time. I remember the first time we had color TV. I saw strawberries. It was a Cool Whip commercial on Hogan's Heroes. I said, this is great. I thought, how sad I am. Color TV, and I'm getting excited. But it was something. It was terrific. And then later on, one of my friends, Vinny, pointed out about 10,000 things that he thought at 30 past the hour were basically impossible about our landing on the moon. So I take that cum grano salis with a grain of salt. Now, by the way, finally, in terms of long-term survival, now this is what people are saying. You know, the Earth is vulnerable. Asteroids and climate shifts and global risks exist. Expanding beyond Earth is insurance for humanity. How are we going to get people there? We can't get people at TSA. We can't get people at Newark Airport. We're going to put people on, can you imagine this? How many millions of people are we going to be able to fly to the moon?
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.